Welcome to Robyn's Roost. Today I'm playing with a new online exclusive stamp set. It just became available on November 5th. There's a bunch of them. One of them is a really pretty Valentine-y hearts set with some marbled paper. But the one that I am playing with today is Cute Critters. You all know that I love cute critters. So this is the Otterly Amazing Stamp Set and dies. The suite is called Otterly Adorable. So let's just flip the camera and we'll get started. First of all, I'd like to show you the patterns on the Otterly Adorable paper. Of course, this is the one that I'm using for this card. And then the back side has a fish and seaweed. And then we've got some more otters. I think you would have to fussy cut most of these. I think this one, the die might fit, but I'm not sure. And then just a kind of a pretty gray background. Some swimming otters. Aren't they cute? And then the back side has this really pretty water. Here's some otter families at play. I love the little baby otters. One year we had one at our cabin and it was the absolute cutest thing I'd ever seen. Here's some fish, some more seaweed, or some more water. And here is our die set and our stamps. So we've got the dies that cut out all of the otters, and then we've got some bubbles, so you could leave like holes in your paper. I'm not quite sure. Oh, this is maybe a slide, because otters like to slide, so you can make a water slide. We can cut out some fish. These have a die to cut them out. And then we also have some other greenery. This one actually, oh no, this is the one that goes with that stamp set. These are just cut out. They don't have stamps that match. And then we've got some rocks and a log. So I'm going to set these off to the side. And we'll start with my little cheat sheet, because I can never remember sizes. I don't know how I managed to get goo on my paper already, but I did. So then we start with a card base that's standard. So it's the 8.5 by 5.5, but then instead of scoring it in the middle, for a trifold card, we're going to score it at 2 1/8. And then I like to flip it over and score it at 2 1/8 again. That's the way my brain works. And then we need 3 pieces of Lost Lagoon. This is Pool Party. And the Lost Lagoon, we've got 2 of them that are 1 5/8 by 4. That's going to be our top and our bottom flap. And then the center flap is going to be 2 inches by 4. So we've got a little bit more room on our middle one. Then we're going to need a piece to stamp on for the middle one. And this is the Pool Party. And it is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then we're going to cut 2 pieces of the DSP, and these are 1 3/8 by 3 3/4. And again, we need 2 of those. So you kind of gotta, choose what you want. You could also just do like the background, and then you wouldn't have to worry so much about trying to get, the heads not cut off of the otters. Like this one, I ended up with a tail or just his back end, but I'm not going to worry about that. I like it the way it is. And then we also need a piece of white for the inside, which is going to cover up that, whatever that is there. So actually, before I forget, I am going to fold this, because I would normally fold these the opposite direction. But I'm going to fold it this way so that I remember that I want to put the white on that inside part to cover up my goo. I don't know if I had dirty hands or what. Okay, I'm going to set that off to the side. We can adhere these pieces so I don't lose them, because believe me, that happens. just going to get these on here. And then I only have 2 pieces to lose instead of 4. Set those off to the side. Now we're going to pull in just a scrap here to stamp our otter. And I'm just using Tuxedo Black ink. And then I'm going to stamp the greeting right up in the corner. Now for coloring the otter, I have pulled in, let's see what I've got here. I have Pecan Pie, both light and dark, the Copper, light and dark, and then if I wanted some really dark shadows, I pulled in one of the skin tones in the deep dark. So I'm going to start with my lightest color. A lot of times I actually start with the darkest one around the edges, but for this guy I'm going to start with the lightest. And I'm just going to color everything in the light color. And if you don't like to shade, you could just color him in like this, and he would look perfectly fine. And remember, that's always okay. This is something coming from you, and it should reflect your personality. So you don't want your card to look exactly like mine because you want it to be yours. That's the cool thing about handmade cards. Okay, so then on my last one, I actually used the copper clay. This is the light. I'm going to start with the dark. And then I went around and added some shading to all the edges. And no 2 critters that I color look the same. Now I'm going to come in with the deep dark, and I'm going to add some dark shading where it would be the darkest, where the shadows are, like under his paws, here on his foot, along the edge of his leg, maybe under his chin. And then I'm going to come back in with my light. This is my light pecan. And I'm just going to go over everything again, except maybe under his chin. I want under his chin to be kind of light. We'll see how that looks. And remember, when you're doing this, if it doesn't look like, oh my god, this is really like a line, it does keep blending for a while after you're done coloring. So you might want to like give it a minute. Now you could leave his tummy a little bit lighter. I noticed that a lot of the otters on the paper have white tummies, but he doesn't have a real defined line, so I wasn't quite sure how to put that white tummy in here. So you could have done, like I did with his chin, if you wanted his tummy to be white, you could kind of leave a spot like that as well. I'm going to quit right there because I think he looks okay, and I am going to go die cut him. So we have our matching die that'll cut this guy out. Now, I was a little bit unhappy. I got his tail a little bit off, but it didn't cut any of the coloring off, but I'm just going to slice this a little bit so there isn't as much white under there. It would be okay either way. So he is going to go right there. And I did also die cut a couple of, if I can pick them up here, a couple of rocks. So he kind of matches in more with some of the other things. And then I've got a couple pieces of seaweed that are going to go like behind him. Okay, I went and cut out another one because I didn't find my rock. Lost a rock. Okay, so let's go ahead and I am going to put my little otter on with some dimensionals. And I want him to be kind of right on the bottom, right on the edge here. And then I'll just go ahead and let's take these off so I can. These rocks are giving me a heck of a time today. There. Okay, now I want the biggest rock first. I'll just take some liquid glue here. And I'm going to start by putting my rock down in the corner. And then I'm going to put our third rock over on the other side, kind of in the corner too. And then because I popped him up, I can tuck these behind him. Try not to get too much adhesive on. And then these will just go right here. And you want to make sure that you don't go over the edges because this has got a flip flap. So now let's pull in our, I've got to layer this one yet. Let's layer him on. Now this one is going to go in the center and be adhered on this side. And then these two are going to be adhered on the other side. So the way I like to do this is to actually leave all three of them on here, not glued down, and get them situated where I want them. So you can see where you leave your edges. So once you have them all right where you want them, what I do is I take one at a time. I run my adhesive on here, staying, a little bit in so you're not going over the edges, so it doesn't stick out. And then just layer it back where you had it. And then I'm going to do the bottom one first. Then the center one last, and again he goes on the opposite side. There, so now we have our pieces all in place, and then we have somewhere, we have this beautiful Lost Lagoon soft cord. It's really soft, and I did think about just trying to adhere it down across here like it was a wave of water, but I just had to put this on somewhere on the card. So we're going to do it as a little bow. And it is thicker than like baker's twine, but it's not so thick that you can't tie a little bow. So then I'll just trim these ends a little bit so they aren't in front of his face. And I like to adhere my bows with glue dots. Oh, there they are. And I like to tie a little piece of twine around my end of my glue dot, so that way I can roll. It kind of keeps it more contained for me. And then we'll just kind of tuck that in there. Let's see if we can get this to come down. Just kind of play with it a little bit till it's where you want it. And then there are also these really cool gems that come with the suite called Riverside Irregular Pearls. So we have the other flat pearls, and these are 3 shades. There's a blue, kind of a gray, and then the white. And I'm just trying to decide where I want to put them. My other one, it was a little bit more obvious because I had some fish. And you could use all white ones. You could use one of each. There's 2 different sizes. They're kind of like air bubbles, right? Maybe one on each one. Oh, and then our inside. Or maybe, let's see, we should stamp it before we adhere it though, shouldn't we? Let's just put that off to the side. So for the inside, let's just stamp these and leave them black, and I'm going to leave no greeting on. So this is just going to be something I could write to a friend, because I'm not sure if I want to say we're cute together, depending upon who I'm going to be sending this to. So I could add that later. So you write your greeting in here and just some cute little otters on the bottom. Of course, you could color those in if you wanted as well. So isn't that cute? So have some fun with these otters. Whether you just get the paper, you get the whole suite like I did, and play with all the, the embellishments that come with it. Hope you have a great day. If you want to purchase this set, it is available now. So go ahead and hop on over to my store. I would love to have your business. Totally appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by at the Roost, and you have a great day.